torch lighter. So what we want to do is toast the cigar all the way around. Kind of see like you want to toast the edges. If you get it lit the right way, where everything is lit, then you're not going to have burn problems. A lot of times you'll see people, they'll just start like puffing on it. And what ends up happening is they don't light the cigar evenly, and it canoes, and it becomes a problem. Here, let me watch you doing it. There you go. Yeah.
But I see your whole thing.
Well, see when you blow on it? And this has a soft flame, so then And then once you light it, once it's all lit, then you take a couple of drags, in from the flame. You suck the smoke in from the flame a little bit. Yeah. So now you put the flame up to it, flame up to the foot. Yeah, now draw on it. And kind of rotate it as you draw on it. There you go. And let me see real quick, if you blow on it, you should see it should all be lit. And then you'll kind of see the little black spots. That's where you'll light it a little bit more. Yeah, for people who are watching here kind of on camera, I'll show you. A lot of people they'll send me requests like, how do I light a cigar? I keep having problems. There's an easy trick is blow on it. And once it's all lit, yeah, and then you can just draw on it. And once you get it lit, it'll be good. And I'll as you finish that, I'll tell a story here. These are actually, they're from the Wide Shot. These cigars are Belas Artes. Not an official sponsor by any means to the show, but cigars are an item that are finite. Like this, I think, is about aged 7 years. You can't just make more of it, like bourbon. And
I can't believe I'm not coughing, having pulled on this twice.
Really? Well, you shouldn't be inhaling it.
I'm not.
Okay, good. Yeah. No, this is a really nice, smooth cigar there too. I think you're good. And is the draw good? Are you getting smoke through it? Yeah, looks good to me. All right, there you go. So we're all set. Now that we spent way too much time on this, but let me, because I have to thank people out there, AJ Fernandez, the people who make these cigars. I never wanted to recommend them because, like guns, there's a cigar shortage, and so I knew if I recommended my favorite cigar, I wouldn't be able to buy them. So not a sponsor to the show, but he did say I'll make sure that I can always send you a box. So now I can tell you, Belas Artes is an unbelievable. It's my favorite. I recommend it. Very affordable.
I have lung cancer tomorrow. I'm blaming you.
Well,
I'm blaming you.
Blame all those years coal mining. What are you going to blame me if you get CTE too?
Won't blame you for that, but look, I'm glad you got me some Casa Dragones too.
That's a
I'm
tequila,
sorry. Yeah,
right?
I love this tequila.
Okay.
And so that's going to help me smoke this cigar. And that, I think, because again, I'm a lightweight. I'm not a big drinker. I used to smoke weed in college, but that was in college a long time ago.
Jason.
A long time ago. And so, don't cigars give you a little bit of a buzz?
A little bit, but it's more comparable to like coffee. You know what I mean? And if you inhale it, it'll make.
I don't drink coffee.
Well, I'm saying it's more of a mild stimulant. Is that good?
This cigar has made my tequila taste even better.
Well, you know what? That's a big thing. It's like pairings, like wine with cheese. So there, and I'm not a big drinker either. My wife, thank you so much. She bought me a bourbon.
Oh, that's good.
That was like almost $100. I've never had that in my life, and I think now I'll only ever drink $100 bourbon. It's so much better. All right, so Mr. Whitlock, we had you on the show a while back, and the reaction was like intense how much people liked you. And the word that kept coming back was authentic. People really liked your authenticity, which, I mean, is always a good quality, but it seems to be something that people recognize with you. And, you know, I've talked about this before. I think what it is we've talked about how you have a lot of conservatives, and sometimes if they're like black conservatives or gay conservatives, you know, which are atypical, a lot of times they come up through the ranks and right away they have a show, or people think that they have something to gain. When you came out with your views, I don't even want to say conservative, as a Christian sort of, you can say traditionalist, however you want to define yourself. I mean, you stood to lose a lot, and you did it anyway. And I think that's why people really gravitate toward you.
I hope that it's my authenticity, and I hope that I would think there are people in your audience or your audience, there's a lot of synergy because, one, I've been in the sports lane. Mm-hmm. Sports, the values taught in sports are pretty conservative. And so there's a great synergy between sports fans and conservatives.
Well, what do you mean by that? Because people will look at the Colin Kaepernick and what the NBA
That's
is
the
now.
new sports world.
Okay.
What sports have been for more than 100 years has been a celebration of Americana and a representation really of what America aspires to be. A meritocracy, colorblind, unifying.
I thought you were going to say rich and black.
Because that's football and basketball.
Well, no, but that is most white kids now. If they could be anything, they want to be rich and black. They want to be. They're all trying to act like they're hip hop moguls or athletes. LeBron, like this kid. Every kid looks up to them. Which to me, growing up, I grew up kind of in what we would consider a post-racial America. Certainly more so than today. I mean, I had pictures. I didn't even play basketball. I just had pictures of Michael Jordan on my wall. You know what I mean? It was one of those. It didn't really matter. It seemed like a meritocracy. And nowadays, because people are so gun shy, I think people are moving away from that. Sometimes they're scared.
Well, I think we're moving away from our Christian values in this country. And I've been on a little speaking tour where I've been trying to explain to people, like, you think cancel culture is about conservatives or Republicans or Donald Trump or Steven Crowder or Jason Whitlock. What's being canceled is Jesus. This whole racial thing is a way of moving people away from their Christian values.
Yeah.
And you're hitting people that are trying to be beholden to their Christian values, and you're labeling them as racist.
Yeah.
So now they're less likely to espouse their Christian values because they've all been defined as racist.
You would think that black Americans are Republicans when you look at where they line up on things like social issues, a lot of the social values. And certainly they're the moderate wing of the Democrat Party today. But why do you think that? Why do you think that sort of wedge works with black Americans when they're, predominantly compared to white Americans? It's very secular. Kind of the black American culture is the one place where most people would still identify as Christian, but sometimes they buy this stuff hook, line, and sinker.
Well, I think it works because of our history. There has been a reason for us to consider our race as something that America uses against us. And so we have placed a higher value on our skin color than we probably should. And we've been susceptible in this new era to identifying more as black than Christian.
Yeah.
We prioritize our skin color over our religious faith, and that's a mistake. And I think if you understand the history of America, the African American journey has been the steroids for American greatness. And so if you go all the way back to 1700s, the sin of slavery and the black people's fight for American freedom made America live up to its best ideals, made America live up to what was promised in the Declaration of Independence and what's promised in the U.S. Constitution. And so our history is something we should be celebrating and not looking at as like that it damns America.
Right.
We should be looking at it like, no, your history made America great.
Yeah.
Your pursuit of freedom made America live up to its best ideals. You're essential to American greatness, and we thank you and have gratitude and respect for that. And let's don't cover this all with shame and its damning of America. You're essential.
Especially, too, because so many white Americans shed blood to make sure that we ended the unique sin of slavery. I mean, a lot of people don't realize this. I was I was raised in Canada. I was born in Detroit, raised in Canada. And when I started this show, I guess about a decade ago when I was on radio, someone called in and said something. I don't remember, but they listed the year. And they said, my so-and-so grandfather, I don't know how many generations back, said, fled to Canada. And I did the mental math. There was slavery in Canada. A lot of people don't realize there was slavery, obviously, in the English Empire long after we abolished it. Not in just Britain, not in England, but the British Empire. And I said, you know what they would have said in Canada if you fled there? Great, more slaves. Because it existed there. We did, though, we are singularly unique in fighting a really, really bloody battle to end it. And it's one of those things that I think people overlook when even they look at Jefferson or Washington and people who always saw it as evil. This idea that it was unanimously accepted. Look, it was unanimously accepted by slave traders in Africa, for example, was a business that had gone on. And it was a way of life, but a lot of people in the United States always had a problem with it.
even people